Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are, what is this game? I think in the finals. I think they're fighting for second or third or fourth. UNH Varsity League of Legends versus Puerto Rico in NECC finals. Um, I believe it's best of three. It's for third place. Yeah, yeah, third or fourth place. But looking at the draft, as always, it's pretty standard, right? They're all on their comfort picks, except for Lance. Caitlyn. I do like the Caitlyn into Sivir, right? The Caitlyn range um, outranges the Sivir, can poke down the Braum. So it looks like they went a pretty poke heavy comp. I mean, they do have the front line with the Ornn, um, a semi front line with Briar, right? She does build tanky and health stacking. Uh, but Victory might build her more like assassin oriented. We just don't know yet. But Caitlyn, Zyra, really, really strong lane. Pretty impressive in terms of the poke and the damage that they're able to output. Um, Caitlyn has, I believe, like the second longest range in the game. She sits around 625. Sivir is only at 550 or 525. It's one of those. So almost a whole 100 attack range above Sivir. Braum is melee. He sits around like 130, 200. And Zyra just she has plants. She plays Garden Warfare in the bot lane with the pea shooters and whatnot. So we'll see how these lanes play out. Early-ish, it's just going to be a bunch of farming. The most like uh, combat-wise, we'll see is probably mid early with the Victor and Nivea. Um, it's kind of Victor heavy. Like there's already a fight going on in mid lane. Victor is already taking about a third of his health. We don't know the Anivia health yet, but Victor pretty impressive early. Anivia just she needs to scale, right? She doesn't have bad damage early, but you're sacrificing early levels to basically just farm on Anivia. Good trade with the Ornn in top lane onto Aatrox. Aatrox will have a little bit more like sustain in lane. Um, like Ornn's not the most mobile champ, so if he plays the lane right, Aatrox can land some pretty good combos. There's a You saw mid for a brief second, about the same HP wise. Anivia does have that egg, just that egg passive. So while it does proc, and she is sitting kind of just in lane, but the fight flash from Ornn, first blood on Deltina top lane, really strong start, right? Getting this Ornn ahead, and denying Aatrox to get ahead is ideally what he needs to come out of this lane with. Um, Aatrox can carry a game if enabled, and this Ornn pick kind of doesn't enable him to do that. Unfortunately, he did miss cannon there. Aatrox did TP back to lane. Good unstoppable to block the second Q. However, he does get knocked up by the third Q from Aatrox. Deltina does respond with a pillar crash onto Aatrox, gets him a little airborne as he decides to recall. The wave is pushing in. It will kind of just sit in front of tower. Aatrox can't really crash it too fast, but he did stop Deltina's back, but he took a turret shot um, in response. Deltina does, or Ornn does have TP, so he's just going to immediately TP back as Briar goes for bot scuttle. Malphite is here, but Briar just has the damage. No smite. Uh, Briar does get it. UNH does secure bot river scuttle. No one eyed for it, which is good. Braum did try to roam to it, but Briar just too much damage. It looks like Briar's going Bork, so we might see like a more brawly type of Briar, so like less tanky stats, more trying to burst someone down. So Navia Egg did pop earlier. Navia combo does proc the electrocute onto Jace Bond on the Victor, does take half his health, does have potions procking, get some revenge damage back onto the Nivea. two pretty immobile champions in mid lane, and they both have to land their skill shots. So it'll be a skill fight, really. Looks looks like Victor is shutter stepping onto the Anivia, trying to deny her any farm. Anivia needs that farm. She needs those levels, that XP, and without it, she's kind of just is not a strong bird. Ornn does trade with an Aatrox top lane, does get some grass procs. Jace Bond's a little confident there, a little too overconfident really with the shutter stepping. Does end up taking a tower shot for basically nothing. Not ideal. He does have to be careful. Malphite could be in the area. As another fight breaks out top, Ornn sidestepping all of Aatrox's Qs with the knockup, as well as the W. Briar just clearing away her camps, trying to get something. First Drake does spawn. It is Infernal Drake. This will be a very good Drake for UNH as they have a lot of damage dealers. On their team, like it's good for Victor. Like they have a lot of people who can apply pressure and damage. Puerto Rico, maybe not so much. Like they have the Sivir, they have the Anivia, and they have the Ornn, or the Aatrox. But Aatrox gets wombo comboed by the Ornn Horn. As he dies, Ornn picks up his second kill. Does have a shutdown already, as we're I believe like 5 or 6 minutes into the game. He buys an early Bramble or Bambi Cinder. This will help him push the waves faster, as Jace Bond is now beating out the chicken. Does land a full combo with the stun from his E as well as the ultimate. Anivia does flash out of it though, so he isn't able to secure the kill, but she's in kill range. We'll see. He takes a full combo. Will he flash here? He does flash Q to pick up the kill, but he doesn't have flash now for a potential Malphite gank. The wave is pushing in. He needs to push this out really quickly, and then immediately recall. Anivia, we don't remember if she has TP or not, as she might have used it. As Briar is now fighting Malphite in the bot lane, Braum is here, but gets stunned by the Zyra. The Zyra is a really good zoning support. As she'll flash forward and ignite, Victor shows up. Probably not the roam that he needed to take. Ideally, he could have just reset there, because now he has to commit TP to catch the mid wave if Anivia doesn't shove it out, or if Anivia shoves it out. So it's they already got the Malphite, or they got the Braum kill. They got the Malphite pushed off of it. Do they need 4 members here for Drake? Ideally, probably not, but they do, and it'll help them secure it. Aatrox trying to schmoove on the Ornn. This Ornn just he knows the game. As Victor does TP back to mid to catch the wave. Aatrox is trying to land something here, but it's Ornn. He took some dance lessons. He knows how to sidestep these Qs. For those uninitiated, Aatrox Qs, if they're hit on the edge, it does a knockup and then refreshes his passive, which is like a % max health heal. So by not landing these, Deltina's in a really good spot in lane. Ornn goes for the pillar crash, does miss the knockup. Aatrox still not able to land anything. There is a kill angle here with the Ornn Horn. His ultimate, Briar ult does miss. So now Aatrox will be a little, maybe he'll be a little vigilant that Briar's in the area. Yes, Briar ultimate is like max range, like it's pretty much global, but grubs are up. So Malphite showed mid. There is an angle here in top side if they want to do something, but it's a pretty short window, as the gank from Malphite in mid did fail, so he's now on the lookout for other things. Briar will start grubs. Aatrox just trying to stop his Ornn from building with his passive. His passive allows him to buy items. He doesn't really need to recall pretty much whenever. Will get the Pillar Smash onto the Aatrox. Does tank 2 turret shots for it, but the Wombo combo from the Ornn does pick up the kill and secure it. Briar also picks up the grubs. 3 grubs goes over to UNH. There's a lot happening on that map. There's a fight bot. They do pick up a Braum kill. Victor is now stuck in the Blizzard. It's not Dairy Queen, everyone, but it is what it is. Caitlyn does pick up a kill onto the Sivir, so it's a double kill for bot lane. A little skirmish for mid. Victor came out of that in a better place than the Anivia. Anivia is out of mana. Can't really farm without it. It's kind of hard into Victor, as Victor is just such like an impressive lane bully. Those max range E's are really chunking Anivia's health. So overall, UNH, they're playing their lanes how they need to play them, right? They're utilizing the strengths of the champion that they picked. Um, yes, their team does have more early pressure than Puerto Rico's, just because like Sivir needs at least 2.5 items, ideally. Anivia needs like she needs the Rod of Ages, she needs the Leandries, stuff like that, as well as the items. And then Aatrox also needs items and levels. But their UNH has really put themselves in a position where they can deny most of it. Um, Briar ult does land onto the Sivir. Sivir spell shield not enough to block it. We'll see if Briar just now runs under tower. She won't. Knocks the Sivir back onto tower. Braum is taking the prize for the Sivir. As he dies, kill goes over to Caitlyn. It's 2-0. Malphite solo ults the Chase Victor in mid. Anivia is putting in the damage. Jacepawn trying to pick up a kill on the Anivia, but the Anivia egg did proc. So she's just reviving in lane. A little skirmish in top. Um, looks like Aatrox is going to like fast shove this and recall there. He doesn't know that it's warded. Now he does. But there is a potential kill angle. If he plays it out. Aatrox does land the pool. Ornn just walks right out of it. As he'll farm, as he'll immediately buy a Thornmail. So this is the power of Ornn. If he's ahead, he's just never leaving lane, right? He already bought the Sunfire. He already bought a Thornmail. So this Aatrox is going to have a hard time. As Aatrox lands a full combo, but like Horn, Pillar Smash, can he hit it? No flash, no nothing on the Aatrox. So Deltina will pick up his third kill of the game on this Ornn. Crazy strong. Ornn is already level 11 into the level 9 Aatrox. So UNH has set themselves up. This is a perfect storm of a beginning. Of course, things can happen. Like League is never a one-size-fits-all type of game. But I'd be hard-pressed. Like, they have the gold lead, they have the thing. Zyra ult is committed onto the Sivir. Sivir spell shield just blocks it as she walks out of it. Briar ult, it's looking. It does miss. Probably trying to catch the Sivir and Braum in the back, but if they did that, I don't think they would want it to land, right? It's a 2v1. You have Braum passive and Sivir. Briar, you're strong, but you only have Borg, right? You're not really doing much. Caitlyn is caught out by the Braum and the Sivir. Braum passive is procced. Victor is here to kind of just take some of the pressure off of it as 4v2. Anivia is missing, so it's 4v4. No top laners have TP for this fight, or if they did, they would just get immediately stopped. As a fight is happening in the bot lane, Briar is going onto the Anivia. The Victor ult does proc. Not enough. The Leandry's burn is not enough to get to the Anivia. Victor forced to flash forward with the Q. As Ornn picks up his fourth kill onto Aatrox top, and UNH just smashed it out of the park in the bot lane. It was a little sketchy there, but they played their targeting correctly. And prioritize like the Nivea and the Sivir, because let's be honest, Malphite is not really going to do much damage at this stage of the game. Braum, maybe, but not so much. UNH will pick up the second Drake of the game, as it's a Cloud Soul. So this is a really strong soul for UNH, as well as Puerto Rico, but they have Sivir ult, so kind of like eh. But UNH has a lot of impactful ults, and that move speed to help follow up on those ultimates will be a really good feeling. Rift Herald is spawning in a minute 20. Top tier 1 was already taken. So top tier 1 was taken by UNH. Ornn is now in the bot lane looking to lane swap for something. But they have 3 people, so they could crash this wave. Like, I think they're trying to get a flank angle on this. You see Zyra sweeping the vision. Puerto Rico's bot lane, they don't know that Ornn is here. Now they do, because the Ornn Horn. The Zyra ult is committed. Will knock up the Braum. Braum shield blocks the Ram from going through. So it won't hit anyone. It won't knock anyone up. If anything, it kind of wastes time for the Ornn. I see what they were trying to do. Not that Ornn's going to miss out on a lot of stuff. He does have TP. As well as the home card changes. Jace Bond looking a little light on the health there in mid lane. 1Q from Anivia and it's all over. Anivia will pick up the kill onto Victor in the mid lane. A little unfortunate. So in that instance, gotta back up. You already had Anivia kinda slow, not really slow with the split push or the wave crash, but without the mana, she kind of is. Aatrox will try to find something onto the Ornn, but Ornn and Briar are just too strong. As Ornn is now on a killing spree. Looks like UNH's bot lane tried to do something, but they were. I mean, they got 2 for 1, right? So they killed the Sivir Braum onto the Caitlyn. Zyra did fall, but it was a 3v1. Malphite did show up, probably for a potential gank, but it probably fell through. I wonder what the thought process of Malphite jungle was for Puerto Rico. Yes, it does kind of it does counter the Briar and the Caitlyn, but outside of that, you have Zyra, Victor, and Ornn. Like, you have a lot of magic sources. Maybe they picked it for the playmaking with the ultimate, but there really isn't much follow-up outside of like Sivir ult to like really secure anything. So I think draft-wise, this has to go over to UNH. As Aatrox is trying, Aatrox is trying to do damage to this Ornn, but this Ornn just heals with Grass proc. Victor will get ganked by Malphite again. This Malphite just likes kind of to live in mid lane, but Briar spawns. Rift Herald bot lane does get a crash onto bot tower. We'll see if they get a second crash onto tier 2 bot. It doesn't look like it. As they're all roaming mid. Are they gonna collapse on it? Briar does. Oh, okay. So they went. They played Mario Kart. They went the long haul. Briar took the second crash from Rift Herald and piloted it through the jungle to crash mid, really opening up this map. Deltina's just gonna look for something. He can kind of just walk where he wants. Briar ult does land onto the Braum, not the ideal target, but it is a target nonetheless. Ornhorn is coming out. No, Braum shield does hit Braum for the kill, as well as the Anivia. Anivia gets stunned by the Victor E, or the Victor W, and the shutdown will go over to Briar. So it's a 2 for 0 basically. Aatrox is pushing in top side. He might get a plate or 2. He might even get tower. We just don't know. He probably won't, because Ornn will commit TP to stop that. Third Drake is in 26 seconds, 25 seconds. Ornn is 7-0. He's got 2.5 items. Yeah, it's looking really good for UNH right now. We'll see how Puerto Rico decides to respond to this Drake. They probably don't need to fight it. If I were in their position, I wouldn't fight it, just because I don't know. But Victor might be in trouble if Malphite decides to go bot. Malphite will walk through jungle. Sivir will also walk through into river from mid. But Briar is just running at them. Sivir does get stunned by the Victor. Victor is now like alone from the rest of his team. They're trying to do damage. Lance does pick up a kill onto the Malphite. Victor does fall though. So it's a 1-for-1. Caitlyn gets stunned by Anivia Q, and the Blizzard just ticks, so Caitlyn will fall as well. I believe that's a shutdown going over to Anivia. Not ideal circumstances. Like, fighting in their jungle in close quarters is just a recipe for disaster. They have the Malphite ultimate, they have the Braum ultimate, and Sivir Q. So Puerto Rico's team comp really values close quarters. There's not a lot of like area to sidestep um, abilities from like Anivia and Sivir, and Anivia Blizzard, it covers a huge chunk in a corridor. So like they have to be mindful of that in the future. Yes, they do have their own abilities that are really good in close quarters, like the Zyra and the Victor, as well as the Ornn ultimate. But if you can avoid close quarters, you should avoid it. Looks like Ornn is Ornn is just taking on 4 members of Puerto Rico in top side. Anivia is alone. They might want to look for a collapse onto the Anivia, but they won't opt. They'll opt to try and save the Ornn, but I don't think he needs saving. I think they're trapped in there with Ornn. He's just so tanky right now. He's level 15. But he has to be careful. So Sever Spell Shield does block the Pillar Smash. Briar Ultimate doesn't land. The Ornhorn trying to get stuff back does hit onto 4 people or 3 people. Caitlyn did arrive just in time. Zyra picks up a double kill onto the Aatrox and the Sever, and Braum falls as well. Malphite tries to walk out, does manage to walk out as UNH will just start Baron. It's a pretty early Baron. I think this is like 20, 23, 24 minutes, something like that. So, but it's a good use. Like they have 3 members of Puerto Rico dead. They can just take this for free, basically. Ornn does have some ornaments he needs to give out. So we'll see who he gives it to. He should probably give it to Caitlyn Briar or Caitlyn Victor. Either one of those two would be probably the best bet. He's got 3 to give out, so he can give them all out to everyone, but Zyra. And the fact that he doesn't is a little concerning. I understand. Oh, okay, so they're probably trying to get the most out of Baron buff. They do a 4-1 split. They have top or top mid, and then they have jungle, mid, bot, and support in bot lane, trying to crash 2 waves at the same time to really split the focus of Puerto Rico's team. Granted, they do have Sivers, so Sivir will just wave clear the whole mid lane pretty quickly, in fact. But they have 3 members mid, 1 member top, so they're a 1-3-1 split right now. And Nivea can't hold on. Like it's Baron minions, they take reduced damage, especially Cannon. So while Aatrox will pick up a bounty for topside tier 1, UNH will pick up bot side tier 2 and start crashing into bot side inhibitor turret. Sever and Braum are just sitting in mid. Yes, they do have Aatrox crashing topside, so they might want to have someone answer to that if they really wanted to. They don't necessarily need to, just because, I mean, what's turrets, right? But Ornn can just kill the turret here. You can kill the, yeah, that's crazy damage. So, the Pillar Smash will miss because of Silver Spell Shield. Braum picks up a kill onto the Zyra somehow. We don't get to see how that happened. Aatrox is still pushing in topside, so they might want to look to back off of this, and maybe they got what they can. They got a tower and 2, and maybe answer Briar ultimate barely out of range. This is what I mean, where it's kind of global, but it can't shoot from one side to the other side. Like it's a very, very far range, but just barely missed the Aatrox there. As he picks up bot side tier 2. So it looks like they do send the Victor and the Zyra to clear for it. But by the time they show up, Aatrox is already gone. They have Ornn solo pushing mid. He might be able to get mid turret as Puerto Rico committed a lot to bot side, but they're not collapsing onto this Ornn. This Ornn is level 17 though, with 3 items. He does only have tier 1 boots. Good dodge from the Ornn charge from the Braum Q. Malphite is here though, so Puerto Rico's, they're kind of in a position to collapse. Not really, because they just now, the way that they moved around the map, they have Drake in 20 seconds. This will be soul point for UNH. So Puerto Rico will have to fight this if they don't want to give over Soul, but really, really good Zyra zoning ult. Hits at least 2 targets and about half health onto the, I believe that was Prom and Aatrox. Malphite gets immediately stunned into the wall. Sivir ult trying to run out. Victor does pick up a kill onto the Sivir, followed by with a little help from the Briar ultimate. Ornaments, 2 ornaments have been given out. As UNH will just turn Drake, so they'll pick up Ocean or Cloud Soul. And then Elder will spawn, so they have about 5.5 minutes until Elder spawns after this Drake is taken. The game might already be over by then. I mean, UNH they're kind of in a position where they could send 5 down a lane and just knock out an inhibitor or two. They might want to wait for Baron though. Baron's in 2 minutes. That'll help UNH kind of just push a little extra. But they're all taking their resets. Briar is back is the first back on the map. Where Victor was. He might have just walked out. But Puerto Rico, they're kind of struggling. They do have top lane all the way pushed into inhibitor turret because of the Aatrox, but outside of that, the mid lane is still fully like standing. So that limits how much vision really they can get. And Nivea is just alone at topside. Zyra is just kind of taking all of the focus in mid lane with 3 people. Aatrox is in bot, so they might look for another like Aatrox split push angle. As Ornn is blocked under tower by the Nivea wall with the Blizzard, so he'll take about half his health in damage. As maybe they're looking to push top, get something out of this. Briar will jump onto the Malphite. Malphite forced to flash out, or not flash, ult out, so he doesn't have that ultimate to respond to anything. Caitlyn R doesn't really go through. It does hit, but it's probably blocked by Braum Shield. As Aatrox is now just hitting bot tower. So in response to that, UNH will just start crashing their Nexus turrets. So they'll start sieging. And Nivea is split off. That Ornn is like that physical wall in between her and her teammates. The fact that Aatrox is not backing means that like UNH can just pick up turret if they can. So Ornhorn does hit onto the Anivia. The Anivia does have egg though. Looks like they're full committing onto this Nivea, so she will go into revive, but Aatrox is back, immediately ults. Really good Briar E to push them all back. Does get pulled back by the Aatrox W, so she's forced to flash out to not get caught. Aatrox trying to knock some people up, but UNH will just get out of this for free. They got mid inhibitor. They just like knocked on their door, said hi, we're gonna rob you, and they left. So they did proc a Navia Q. They did proc a couple ultimates there as well. So they made out like bandits. Baron Nashor has hit the rift. This will be the second one. It looks like Ornn does have TP, so he can just split push and then TP in if they decide to pull it. Puerto Rico will be vigilant of like this Baron play. As you can see, they're already posturing the Braum and Malphite around it. Anivia pushed out top, Sivir is pushing out mid, and they saw Aatrox walking into red. So Puerto Rico might want to get this mid turret, but they're going to get collapsed on by the Zyra. Braum just get caught by the Zyra tentacles, or the vines, I should say. As Briar will hit the ultimate onto Braum, she will just start running at him. Like, there's nothing much she can do unless she E's. As a really good route from Grim on the Zyra for that Sivir, picks up a double kill onto Puerto Rico's bot lane. This'll basically just be the death sentence for them. So UNH can just walk in here. Yes, there is a Nivea, but if they just get these turrets, they can just walk at the Nivea no problem, as Ornn's doing right now. Ornn does get a Wombo combo off, and Nivea tried to wall him off, but the Ornn dash, it goes through. So it still gets the knockup onto the Nivea. Ornn will pick up double kills. Victor is just pushing out the damage in the back line, getting up an ace for the UNH, as UNH would just hit the Nexus and they'll win game one. So really, really solid performance from UNH. They came out of the gate swinging, and we'll see you all again for game two. All right, welcome back to game two. It is a best of three, so if UNH can get this win, they'll be third place in NECC. Pretty much a similar draft. I mean, they've drafted a more like tankier comp in terms of the Nautilus and the Darius. Relatively similar tankiness to last one, but there's more frontline, and there's less carry potentials. So Darius can carry, yeah, but probably the main focus will be this Vigar and Aphelios. Pantheon also works very well if you get some kills on some levels. But Puerto Rico's draft, LeBlanc mid. I think Vigar does struggle into that a little bit early until he gets some kills. There's a fight breaking out in bot lane. Bot lane is almost dead. As first blood go over to MF. Will they pick up and they'll pick up a double kill? So it's unfortunate to get to see that. But it is MF Seraphine bot lane. That's quite a troublesome bot lane for Aphelios Nautilus. Nautilus doesn't really have much. He doesn't really have any angles if they just stand behind the wave. So Aphelios UNH will probably be waiting until level 6 or anything in bot, or they might need to wait for jungle ganks and bring a third person bot side. However, level 6 is also a really strong level up for MF and Seraphine. The overlapping ultimates it's a very deadly combo, especially for Aphelios, as he's not the most mobile champion or the most mobile ADC. UNH have kind of drafted a pretty immobile comp outside of probably Pantheon, but having it into MF LeBlanc's super mobile. She has 2 dashes with her ultimate and stuff like that. The VRQ does miss a little bit on the combo, but he just is autoing her, getting some damage back. Both pots are ticking. Vigar's main priority here, just scaling his passive. Fight breaks out on top side. It is Renekton into Darius. It should be Darius favored. Both are pretty early power champions. Renekton a little bit more so. As Jarvan will pick up a kill onto Aphelios in the bot side. So not the strongest start this game. Pantheon will pick up a revenge kill onto the Jarvan. But it is just still the early game, and they've drafted late game champions, so there's always time to get back on track. Pantheon will pick up bot scuttle. Maybe he's probably going to make his way to top side or top scuttle. Passing through mid, maybe a potential gank onto LeBlanc, but not really advised. Just she can dash away. So it looks like top are just going to try trading. The grab from Darius does miss. It does hurt to miss that. It is like a 26-second cooldown. So he has to be careful. Jarvan could potentially be topside coming from base. As they're just going to trade waves. Minions for minions. It is pushing into Darius, so Darius doesn't really have any need to like full send it. He did shove out the wave there and is now gonna start fighting the Renekton. Ignite is used on both of them. It looks like they're gonna give the kill over to Pantheon, but the last tick of Ignite does pick up the kill for Deltina on the Darius. Vigar is getting into a little skirmish. Full combo from LeBlanc, did about half health. Does get stunned by the Vigar cage, so really good placement in the cage. Passive is procced from the LeBlanc. That clone, obviously free stacks for Vigar passive. LeBlanc's potion is ticking. Does it get about half her health back? One good combo from Vigar can seal the deal on this with the ultimate. The ultimate does execute. Bot side looking a little worse for wears this game. there's not really much they can do at this point in the game. Like, unfortunately, Aphelios needs time. He needs the gold, the XP. Pantheon just farming his wolves, his jungle. Jarvan does appear in mid lane. There is a gank onto the Vigar. Vigar forced to flash out. Darius will flash forward with the primed Q, gets a max stack on his passive, the Hemorrhage, and then slam dunks him with the Noxian Guillotine, executing him. So that's a double. That's kill number 2 for Darius in top side. Renekton, second death of the game, already far behind. Renekton is a pretty early to mid game champion, and without those early kills, without that early snowball, he kind of falls off. Yes, he is still useful. Like, there's a lot of stuff he can do. His ultimate is really good. His stuns and shield breaks are really good. Nautilus will throw the hook out forward, does grab the Seraphine. Ignite is committed onto the Seraphine, but Seraphine just walks away. Jarvan is here to answer the gank from the Pantheon, so it is even numbers. No one has ultimates yet. However, once the ultimates do hit, once they do hit level 6, it could be a different story. An ult really strong with the combo of MF ultimate and Seraphine. Darius does pick up the cannon. It's always a good thing. And UNH look like they want to start this Drake, but they're gonna opt not to, as Jarvan will throw his flag over the wall to see if they're on it. Pantheon is spotted out by the Drake. Drake will follow and hit him. But Jarvan is now going to gank mid. Vigar doesn't have a flash. There's a fight in top side. Darius will pick up this kill onto the Renekton. And Vigar does make it out. He does take about half health in mid from the Jarvan and the LeBlanc as he dies. So I don't know if he walked back in, but it will be a 1-for-1 trade. Top side for mid for UNH. Grubs are up in 15 seconds. They have to be careful with this. They can't really take them as free as they did in the first game, just because Jarvan will be here. He did show mid. LeBlanc is probably on her way back from her recall. Darius is on his way. He's about halfway through lane. Vigar just made it back, but there's no vision committed. There's no wards in the lanes themselves, so he has to be careful. Looks like UNH will start Grubs. They're going to call Vigar over, as Darius will just push topside. Maybe he'll show up, maybe he won't. Scryer Bloom does see UNH on the Grub, so Puerto Rico is aware that they're here. Whether they'll respond to it or not is up to them, and it looks like they won't. So UNH will pick up all 3 Grubs pretty much for free. They didn't really lose anything. LeBlanc just shoved in mid-wave, and Renekton tried to shove in topside, but nothing really came of it. So really good play from UNH so far. It looks like he's going to look for the fight, does hit the grab at max range, misses the outside Q, but Renekton is kind of stuck. He used his dash forward, as Deltina will just QW and then dunk on him. Kind of just pick up a kill. So Darius is the state of the game where he can just farm this Renekton. It's crocodile hunting season, and Darius is hungry. So he'll pick up like 3rd plating from top side, as well as he has enough gold to buy Stride Breaker, so that'll help as well. Jarvan responded with that play to gank bot side, does commit the ultimate, but no one was there. I don't think he landed it on anyone. If he did, it's probably the Aphelios, and the Aphelios was forced to flash out. But Puerto Rico will start Drake. UNH don't really have to respond. Vigar is having a fight mid, but almost dies. He has to be careful because Jarvan can easily just peel off of it. As it looks like they're going to gank the bot. Really good hook from the Nautilus onto the Seraphine. They should just target the Seraphine. They should ignore the MF. Don't save the save the stun for the MF. So it works out. The Infernum ultimate from Aphelios does land on both of them, allowing Pantheon to hit a max charge Q onto both of them for the double kill. It was a little scary there in the beginning. It could have been a play where they just both walk out, as Vigar just does walk into some of the abilities there, allowing LeBlanc to get a double combo. Jarvan does jump over, does steal the Drake from UNH with the smite. Mistimed smites from actually, Pantheon didn't even smite, so he still has 2 charges. But Vigar will pick up a kill onto the LeBlanc mid. So I'd say it's kind of worth 2 for 1. They did lose the Drake, but they picked up a kill onto LeBlanc and Jarvan, putting them a little bit further behind. Vigar needs to back right here, as he will back. He already pushed it mid, he got a plate. There's no need to overstay. Bot side is pushed in as well. Looks like MF and Seraphine are just going to roam up river to try and get some ward, clear some vision for their team. Asterius is now fighting the Crocodile. He's already level 11. I believe we're like 17 minutes into the game. Aphilio's almost dead. 1 Q from MF and he will die, so he needs to recall. Nautilus is full health. He can kind of just like try and fight some of this. Puerto Rico going to respond topside with calling LeBlanc and Jarvan topside. So it's a 3v1. Darius is strong, but he wasn't able to get that ultimate off fast enough to get one back, so it is 1 for 0. Pantheon is here. We'll maybe look for something onto the Crocodile. Does land a charge stun. Renekton will flash away. Max range Q does do extra damage to low health targets. We'll pick up a kill onto the Renekton, so it's a 1 for 1. Setting this Renekton even further behind. Darius will commit TP topside to push in the topside wave. Try and crash it under tower. Vigar is pushed up a little too far. Does crash the cannon wave and everything like that. LeBlanc as well. So mid lane is kind of even in terms of pushing power. LeBlanc a little bit more pushing power than Vigar, I believe, just because of safety. But Vigar will nuke the wave. He is level 11. It'll just walk right at the LeBlanc. Does miss a Q, does miss W, unfortunately. Not able to really hit anything, but we'll get a Q, procs the LeBlanc passive. As LeBlanc jumps back into him, Vigar will just point and click his ultimate. Right, it does execute based on missing health. LeBlanc in execute range for the max damage. Jarvan is bot side. Looks like he's trying to gank. Pantheon will immediately pop the ultimate onto the fight. Nautilus with his ultimate does land a crazy knockup onto Seraphine and MF. However, Seraphine ultimate into MF ultimate, right? We talked about this combo earlier. It's a very, very powerful combo. It forced UNH just to stand in the bullet wave and just take damage. So MF will get 2 shutdowns and 3 kills, 3 or 4 kills for nothing, basically. Vigar tried to get something back, however, he didn't have a team there, so it's those uneven numbers that you don't need to walk to it, right? You can just back and get the reset. So Deltina will respond by taking Jarvan's topside blue, or topside jungle, getting the blue buff and the Gromp. Try to deny some of that XP and gold away from the Jarvan. Rift Herald is in 25 seconds. Darius has to be careful. He is spotted by the Jarvan. So they know he's here, but he does have blue. He does have the honey fruits, and he'll take Scuttle. So he just denied, or he won't take Scuttle. It looks like they're going to potential gank on to LeBlanc. It isn't. There's a little fight over the Scuttle Crab. They're going to call Vigar over. Vigar just walks past it, maybe to zone something. He does pick up the kill onto the Scuttle with his Q. Jarvan has been denied a lot of EXP, a lot of gold. Pantheon is here. A fight might break out. Renekton dashes away preemptively. As Darius will just go crash topside. Looks like UNH really wants this Rift Herald, and they're in the position to take it. They've pushed out the waves, but they haven't sent anyone to roam. They haven't called Vigar over. They haven't called Darius down. They have now. But Vigar will just face tank an unwarded bush and has to burn flash to get rid of the Jarvan hookup. So it's like a little unnecessary plays like that that can lead to greater things happening. But UNH will secure Rift Herald unless if Jarvan just like jumps in there. I don't see that being a thing. It could happen, but I think UNH just played this the fight better and secured the Rift Herald. Darius will engage onto the Renekton. Renekton does get stunned. Renekton tries to TP out, does get grabbed, so he was not able to TP. Darius will just... Oh, what? Pantheon picks up the kill. So this Darius is getting taxed. Pantheon took the kill. Darius, or Vigar took the scuttle. But Renekton is down TP. He's down Ignite as a pause breaks out. Maybe we'll see what the pause is about. It's a little odd. Oh, as they're ready. So, okay, Mouse did die for Puerto Rico's mid lane. As the game will resume, so little technical difficulties for the opposing team. Darius will just go push top. Bot is having a little fight. Aphelios is able to pick up a kill onto the Seraphine. Pantheon did gank. LeBlanc is mid. They have 3 pushing lanes, UNH does. Looks like Darius will try to get top tower. If he gets this top tier 2, it'll open up a lot of things that he can do. He can go bot and push bot side and send Vigar top or something like that, or put Aphelios mid. However, MF will pick up a kill onto the Nautilus bot side. Jarvan did show up for a counter gank. Darius does take a turret shot, unfortunately, but does get the cannon. Aphelios will respond to the Nautilus kill with an MF kill. So things have been evened out. However, Pantheon might die. No, Pantheon gets out. Just barely survives. He does have to be careful. Jarvan can like kill him with a flag. Ideally, you want to like back away. You want to back 2 screens away. So backing under turret with a Jarvan who can tower dive you is a little sus. But he might make it out. So he does make it out. Jarvan, MIA. He's spotted on Gromp. They could collapse on this, right? They could send Nautilus, they could send Aphelios. Looks like they haven't called anything yet. Aphelios needed to move yesterday if they wanted to catch this. Nautilus hook does miss, as Jarvan just flag and drags over the wall. So a little bit of a missed opportunity for UNH. If they just responded earlier, they could have picked up a kill and put Puerto Rico even further behind. But Baron in 1:30. Dragon in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. No lane swaps yet. It is a little odd. Just because Vigar is a little bit more self-sufficient in a side lane than Aphelios, and Aphelios would want to be there for the objectives and stuff like that. But Aphelios gets bursted by the MF and bot side. If Vigar Cage does miss, ultimate is just not up yet for the Vigar, so he'll have to force to auto attack the MF to death. No cage. He could just turn and look for an ultimate onto the Seraphine, but it's just not there. They'll look for the Seraphine now, but missing the abilities gets autoed. Proto Belt on the Vigar survives a lot longer than he should have. Really good dodging from J-Spawn Vigar. Bought some time for the rest of the team. Darius does slam dunk the Renekton, but just doesn't. It's not enough. As the Renekton ultimates gets that HP boost. UNH pops the Rift Herald top. Then they're gonna Pantheon takes a ride. They'll crash the Rift Herald into topside inhibitor. If he can get out, it's another story. He does have ultimate. And they're on the hunt for him, but I think he just gets out. He might be forced to ult out. It may or may not. It looks like Puerto Rico will stop chasing the Pantheon, so he'll just walk right out and take his reset. And with that chase, Darius is able to pick up Jarvan's blue, which is a good steal away. Dragon up in 15 or 50 seconds. Baron is on the board. They could look for something on Baron. It's not really set up for it, so they probably shouldn't force it. But they did lane swap, but Vygar is here, so there's really no need for Vygar to be here, as he'll just start walking topside. Doubling up your carries is almost a little bit of a no-no in terms of the shared XP and stuff like that. The Dragon in 15, they sent Renekton. Renekton is walking down topside river. Jarvan is bot, will engage onto the Darius. It's a risky engage as Darius is quite fed. Vygar immediately procs TP. A little wide TP, but he is here for a fight. He walks at the LeBlanc. LeBlanc pushes out. So there might be a 5-man fight here for this Drake. I don't think there really needs to be, because it's not soul point yet. But Pantheon will dash onto the Jarvan. Jarvan just is caged, really good Vygar cage, locking in the Jarvan and stunning the Renekton. As Pantheon will pick up a kill onto the Renekton. Another good cage again as LeBlanc is trapped inside. Does get stunned if he's picked up a kill. Darius falls in mid lane to the MF Seraphine combo. So it is a 1 for 3. However, UNH will be able to pick up the Drake. So this should be their second Drake. I believe their second Drake of the game. It is Mountain Soul, which will be good for a little bit extra tankiness for UNH. Pantheon will ult mid, looking for something onto the MF. Does get stunned by the Seraphine ult. Will commit anyway, as he does have Sundered Sky. Nautilus flashes forward to pick up like a stun onto the MF. The last tick of Ignite just not enough, as Seraphine Shield will save the MF. So a lot of things committed there. Unfortunately, no kill onto the MF. Pantheon has to be careful. LeBlanc takes a turret shot for some reason. As Aphelios is just left alone to push this. Vygar has come back onto the map yet, or has come back onto the map, so Aphelios will then take this opportunity to take his reset. LeBlanc dashes straight into the Vygar cage. Ultimate popped a little bit early. LeBlanc does have tier 3 magic or Merc Tread, so she gets a magic shield if she takes magic damage. So that'll help her survive a little bit. Pantheon will pick up his blue. Bot side, bot tier 1 has fallen. I think it already fell. But Renekton is just hitting away a top tier 1 turret, so that may or may not fall, depending if they send anyone to answer it. It is on 2 turret plates, so it's practically like 2/3 dead already. As there's not really much to play for. Yes, Baron is up, but they're not really set up for it, and to force a Baron and potentially lose your lead, it's just not ideal. Dragon hasn't respawned yet. It's about like probably 3.5 minutes until it's up again. So they're kind of just farming, right? They want to keep the pace that they have ahead. Vygar benefits from all farming just because of his passive. Aphelios gets some extra items, some extra damage. He scales really well. And the stagnant gameplay will basically deny Puerto Rico's champions from reaching their break points that they need. LeBlanc is a really good snowballer. She's not able to snowball though. And Renekton is in the same scenario. He's an early to mid game champ that's slowly starting to fall off at this point in the game. However, Vygar is caught out bot side by Jarvan gank. Ultimate is committed onto Vygar. Vygar flashes out of the ultimate. and cages the Jarvan. So looks like they're still gonna chase. The Proto Belt does miss the LeBlanc chains. As they commit 2 ultimates to Vigar, Vigar in response uses his flash. So whether that's worth, it's up to them to decide. However, this Vigar does not have flash for a future fight, so he does have to be careful. He does have to like acknowledge that there's a potential death angle if he misses. But LeBlanc will just back off. Dragon in a minute 40. This will be soul point for UNH. As it looks like they're gonna take on the Croc. The Q from Darius does land the grab, misses. However, he is slowed. As another Q will go, he is max hemorrhage stack. Darius will dunk with the ignite and everything. Will pick up a kill onto the Crocodile. Nautilus does pick up a kill onto the Popstar Seraphine for a 2 for 0. So there is a Baron angle at this point. Should they take it? Probably. But the Nautilus hook will grab the Renekton. Or sorry, not the Renekton, the Jarvan. Good zoning ult from MF to try and get something back. However, it's just not enough as UNH will pick up a kill onto the Jarvan. So there definitely is a Baron angle now, but I think they took too much damage from that MF ult and the tower dive, so they have to reset here. They could go from base to Baron, or they could just go back onto the map, continue to push waves. Darius is now in bot side looking for that tier 2 bot turret. And LeBlanc is top side trying to push it out to get that top tier 1. And they might want to even stay bot, right? You have Drake in 20 seconds. Get that, secure that soul point and everything like that. They have everyone here. They have set up for it. Darius will back. I don't think this is a good back timer, depending on what UNH decides to do. If they take that Drake, it was a kind of a troll back. Oh, he does have TP, never mind. So he can TP for this. I forgot that top laners have TP no matter what now. So that was my mistake, but yeah. So Darius is already back out on the map. He does have Dead Man's Plate as well, so he's fast. This Darius is fast. A fight will break out. Vigar does cage the Seraphine and does pick up a kill. Infernum ultimate splashes down onto Puerto Rico's team. Jarvan ult will hit. We are switching POVs. Aphelios does take a double kill. Jarvan picks up a kill, and Vigar picks up a kill as well. So this will be soul point from the Pantheon, or for UNH. As looks like they might also start Baron. No, they're not. So Darius will just hit tier 1 turret, or not tier 1 turret. He'll clear topside wave, and Aphelios will clear mid wave. This will probably lead to UNH picking up. It will tier 2 mid turret. However, he is responded to by LeBlanc, but he is red and white, and so the motto is red and white don't fight, and I don't think LeBlanc got that memo. So she goes in, but she has to flash out and commit her passive because Aphelios does too much damage. So UNH are a really good position. They have 3 pushing lanes. They just recalled, or they all recalled for the most part. Darius still has to recall. So they could go from base to Baron, or they could just like send it mid. I think Baron would be the call if they want to end this quickly. Get Baron, go 4-1, split. Because outside of Seraphine MF ult combo, there really isn't much kill pressure that Puerto Rico has onto UNH. They do, I mean, they have kill pressure onto Aphelios just because he is one of the squishier targets. He doesn't really have any resistances, but Vigar is level 17 with Roa and Proto Belt, so he's got the tankiness. Darius is tanky as heck. Nautilus is a tank. He's just been stacking those support items. And Pantheon has that shield to block incoming damage. So it looks like Puerto Rico will try collapse on this Darius. They commit 4 people top, but they're not able to catch him. Nautilus will hook the Seraphine, but there's no one to follow up. Nautilus is kind of just out of the caught out of it. But Aphelios will pick up a kill onto Jarvan. He is still red and white. Flashes over the wall, but gets immediately stunned. So gets collected by MF. MF picks up a triple kill. That fight went south very quickly. I think they needed to just they needed to wait. They needed to hold on to their stuff. Um, Vigar does get a combo onto the LeBlanc. However, the ultimate is used too early. Yet again, right? It does damage. Will he get the cannon? He won't get a cannon, unfortunately. But LeBlanc gets out just enough, or with just enough health. So to recap that fight a little bit, unfortunately, it was Nautilus was there. Darius was still like running back. So the Nautilus Q was a little early in terms of execution because you still had Aphelios moving to you, and you still had Pantheon moving to you. So maybe communication. Maybe there was something going on there, but it's not the end of the world, right? Protobelt will get some damage. Dredge line onto the Seraphine will make her die. Vector, not Vector, that's last game. Vigar does a full combo onto the MF, procs the uh, Guardian. And as she's reviving, she'll die. So UNH will start the Baron. They can probably pivot this Baron into an end angle, or at least get their inhibitor turrets and a couple inhibitors. Um, Pantheon slays the Baron, as they're all going to reset. So we'll see how they allocate the roles. Whether they're going to do a 4-1, a 1-3-1, or like a 3-2. Dragon is up in 58 seconds, so they might want to do 4-1. And it looks like they are. So they're going to send Darius mid, and then jungle, mid, bot, and support. They're going to send the bot lane. So the same strategy from last game, where they sent the Ornn mid, and the rest of the gang is in bot side. So this will allow them to have the majority of their power and players near the objective that they want to take. Dragon in 25 seconds. Pantheon jumps in onto the LeBlanc, half health her with a full combo. LeBlanc does jump in, not enough damage. Vigar just picks up a kill onto the MF, clearing that ultimate threat away. Pantheon picks up the kill onto the Seraphine as well. So Puerto Rico is kind of at the mercy of the wave now. They don't really have much wave clear with the Renekton, Jarvan, and LeBlanc. And it's Baron minions, right? They have double Baron cannons just pounding away at the base as they're going to start breaking open Puerto Rico's base. 3 dead. Darius does pick up a kill onto the Renekton and LeBlanc, so it'll be 4 dead. There's not much Jarvan can do. Jarvan will try, but he'll just die in the process as UNH will just pick up the second win. So really, really good showing from UNH. This will secure them 3rd place in NECC. So really, really strong season from UNH, especially these 2 games, like out of the park. They played it very well. So I guess, yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks for sticking around with the ride. And we'll see you again next season or next game if there is one. I don't really know.